Well, it's homecoming night here in Deer Park as the 2-4 Clear Lake Falcons come in to take on the 5-1 Deer. Jared Creel filling in for Mason Pratt tonight alongside Shane Creel. It's a family affair up here. I'm not going to do near as good a job as Mason does, but we're going to do my best. And Shane, the whole year, Deer Park offense has been uncharacteristically inconsistent. We really were waiting for them to have a breakout game 2 weeks ago against Clearbrook. We kind of got that. What did you see in that game that kind of stood out to you?
Well, I think that game probably says a little bit more about Clearbrook than it did Deer Park. But I will say that all year was kind of like a little bit of everyone looking around, seeing who was going to step up, who was going to kind of take the lead as far as, you know, making some big plays. And the only person really doing it to any degree was Kieselhorst. And then against Clearbrook, we had some other guys all of a sudden say, you know what, I want a piece of this, and I'm going to step up, and I'm going to do a lot more. And then that's exactly what happened. So I'm really excited to see hopefully that success continue. And I think a lot of times for any football team is you need a little bit of a easier game, a little easier time. Is that the nice way to put it?
And that's what Clearbrook was.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, that is exactly what it was. And you'd like to see them build on that success. And obviously, once you execute some plays very cleanly, offensive line is executing clean all of a sudden. Well, then they say, oh, okay, this is how it goes. We just speed up the process, and then it gets better and better as you go, opponent to opponent.
Well, Clear Lake coming in, they've had a little bit of a struggle this season, losing their first two games before finally getting a couple of wins to pull to 500, beating Kingwood Park and Brazoswood.
Clear Lake has won the toss. Defer to the second half.
In case you were wondering, that
Deer Park
is
will receive.
the referee mic, which is pretty hot.
Booming. I don't want to say too much about Clear Lake just yet. And just watching a little bit of their film, I think it's a little bit skewed because some of those opponents that they have played have been pretty good.
Yeah, they definitely have. The tougher part of their schedule was at the beginning of the year, and they're going to be ending with a little bit easier schedule. After Deer Park, they've got Clear Creek, then Clearbrook, before finishing up with Clear Falls.
Yep, and it always starts, obviously, with special teams, execution, and that was one thing. The beginning of the year, I was about ready to pull my hair out if I had some. But let's see here with this opening kickoff what they can do on special teams and really ramp it up from the get-go. I know starting fast is a big part of Coach Flynn's philosophy, so let's get it going.
Yeah, Clear Lake teeing up the ball. Going to kick it away, and the Deer Park offense going to get to start this game out. And they're coming off a bye, so we'll get to see what they've been working on in their off week. And the ball falls over. A little windy here today, but the coolest game we've had temperature-wise all season. About 70 degrees here at kickoff.
Yeah, those flags are really whipping. We were noticing that during pregame. Kickers having a little harder time, a little bit of a crosswind from the south.
And just a low line drive kick, kind of dribbles its way past the 30-yard line before Deer Park covers it up.
Yeah, right there on all those squib kicks, one of the first things you notice, you tell those guys if they get in front of it to drop on it, and he's kind of thinking about maybe scooping it and running with it. Then
he saw his chance.
Yeah. I really want to see a little bit more of the formation variations is kind of what I expect more of from Coach Flynn in this Deer Park offense.
Kieselhorst, he's going to hand off to his man. That's Trey Martinez.
Well, a little outside zone. He just got the edge pretty quickly, and that's it's a real good way to start the game off and get him out in space is where he likes to be, and track speed for sure.
Yeah, plus 13 on play one. Good start for Deer Park as they spread the field. Two receivers to each side. Now Paradise goes in motion. Horse with a quick little pass over to the middle to Paradise.
I knew this was coming. They were running this a lot in pregame. Clear Lake is lined up in this 3-3 stack where they got 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers stacked right behind them, and then they have basically what's these flat defenders are invert safeties. So the kind of the middle of the field is going to be wide open, and I saw them working some of those vertical seam routes with Paradise at pregame.
Keys Horse now with a little option. He's going to just keep it before being wrapped up and brought down about the line of scrimmage.
Well, we know that Kiesel Horse loves some contact. Maybe he's like, let's just get it going, because felt like if he'd pressed the issue a little bit more with the defender, he had a clear pitch guy with nobody else out there. But, you know, sometimes you got to get roughed up a little bit to get the blood flowing.
There's no question Kiesel Horse believes that he is a running back in a quarterback's body. And now this time, a little razzle-dazzle, a little reverse, but that fooled nobody. And Clear Lake with a big stop behind the line. That's the outside linebacker, Muhammad Kazi. And now 3rd and long for Deer Park, their first 3rd down attempt for the night. So now Kiesel Horse looks to convert. 3 receivers to his left. Looks like Schroeder to the near side, Paradise in the backfield. Kiesel Horse tried to set up a screen, but he's just going to be brought down for the sack. Number 90, Adrian Gutierrez, the senior defensive tackle in the backfield. Looked like Kiesel Horse wanted to throw a screen and just had to pull it down.
Well, that was a very smart play by him, because in that defense where they're running that invert safety, I mean, when you're running a receiver screen like that, it could get blown up or pick six real quick. So it was good job by him not throwing the ball actually right there, but unfortunately punting it after a great start.
Hurtado with a nice looking punt. If the coverage team can get down there and down it, and it looks like they will. It rolls just across the 5-yard line, and that's where it'll be downed. Yeah, Kiesel Horse, he takes a negative play there, but he avoids the disastrous play and gives his special teams an opportunity to pin Clear Lake deep. And so now they're starting their first drive kind of in the shadow of their own goalpost.
We saw a couple of flashes of some good stuff, attacking some of the perimeter, and then they kind of got into that, what I call invert safety, where they walk down 2 guys, kind of linebacker depth out in the flats. I would expect them to kind of attack a little bit more up the seams if they can, and then just obviously run the ball, which you always want to do.
And before Clear Lake is able to run their first play, the umpire throws a flag.
Oh, Lord, we're going to have one of these. We're going to go huddle up every time they throw a flag. I'm really hoping they're not trying to do something with.
Oh, boy.
False start. Offense, number 62.
Okay.
That's half a distance to the goal. First down.
Deer Park got them with the shift where they kind of shifted their defensive line, and now they're getting a little bit more touchy as far as officials go on saying if you cause someone to jump on that, they can. But they didn't call it that way. They called it the way it should have been.
So first play, a handoff to the running back, Caleb Benjamin, and he is just swallowed up there, and he's dropped at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, great job there by the D-line. It was almost like I couldn't see who it was there. The D-end was super quick-footed, and then, of course, Adam White's squeezing real quick as well, so no room to go anywhere right there.
Yeah, Clear Lake in a world of trouble here, backed up on their own 1-yard line, and they're taking the snap from the shotgun, and he's going to throw off the receiver's hands to the near side. That was Andre Jackson in coverage, but incomplete.
He got super lucky, Andre Jackson did, that he got super lucky he didn't get called for pass interference, because he didn't really know where the ball was. There's some contact down there, but they're letting them play because that receiver also launched the ball across the field. What in the world?
there's a flag as Robinson throws to the near side, incomplete, but they're going to get Deer Park for offsides. Looks like
Offsides. Defense number 99.
golly.
5-yard penalty. Still third down.
we got to work on that, don't we?
It is loud in our ears for sure. Hey, I will tell you this. That was one of the things I saw on film against Dickinson and I forgot who else. Clear Springs. They're big fans of doing the hard count, so you got to be disciplined up front.
So now 3rd down and 9. Robinson's going to throw to his right, and it bounces off the receiver's face mask and up in the air. Fortunate for Clear Lake that was not intercepted.
Yeah, I think bounced a mile high, and lucky for them, it bounced all the way to basically the backside corner. It's the closest one there.
So now Clear Lake comes on to punt. 3 and out for them, and they really didn't have much going for them. That's the benefit of pinning them deep. And just a short punt. It's going to roll, get a good Clear Lake bounce, rolls across the 40-yard line. And so Deer Park will start their 2nd drive now in Clear Lake territory.
First drive, we had a little bit of razzle-dazzle at the end. Clear Lake did a great job defending the screen, which has always been kind of a staple for Deer Park, picking up some chunk yardage, but shut it down. So I'd like to see some nice, clean, executable football right here on the offensive side.
So they'll start with a run to the left side.
Yep, and kind of going to their bread and butter, little counter look it looked like, and the gap scheme running games has been something that they've had the most success with whenever you talk about their run game. Anytime you see someone pulling, that's been a better run play for them versus zone where everybody's kind of stepping the same direction.
Zachary Zuniga carried that ball for 5 yards. So now Kiesehorst again will hand to Zuniga, who kind of picks his way, but only going to pick up maybe half a yard. And that'll bring up 3rd and about 5.
Yeah, kind of an ISO look there with you had kind of a fullback leading his way up the middle, but the D-line did a great job right there. The nose guard, I mean, he really made it muddy for the running back and the fullback, so nowhere to go, really.
Receiver stacked to each side. Kiesehorst again hands off, straight ahead, but only going to pick up a couple. He will definitely be short, and that will bring up 4th and short, but you got to wonder if Coach Flynn was planning on going for it here at this part of the field, kind of in no man's land.
It appears to be that way, and then we got our Andre Jackson checking in at a tailback position now,
Yeah,
along with another.
Yeah, it's Bryce Medley, number 5.
Yeah, another safety back there, mixing it up.
So there's a run. He hands to Medley, and he is going to be short. So Deer Park will turn it over on downs. After starting with great field position, they go 3 and out, so both defenses.
Yeah, you know, they did the zone there again on that play. Zone before that as well, and it's definitely been one of their toughest running plays to get some real good chunk yardage on, or even much positive yardage at that. So I'm just, I guess they're determined to run zone despite the speed option.
It's now an option.
Oh, wrap it up.
Oh, and now Clear Lake busting a huge run, kind of reversing field there.
Andre Jackson knows that he failed. He won on recognizing the play out here at the corner to the play side, and he went for the big hit. And when he laid into him, he just kind of stayed on his feet, staggered, reversed field, and big pickup, man. You got to wrap him up and finish that big hit in the backfield, and that's going to be a negative 7-8 yard play. Instead, it's a, where were we, plus 20?
Yeah, he didn't bring his arms on that one, and it cost him. Caleb Benjamin breaking off a big run to the far side. Now they hand off again. Number 23, that's Jabril Bynum for Clear Lake with a good pickup of about 8.
Having a little bit more success with the zone on their end right there. You know, when the offensive line gets running like that, kind of gets at an angle, and they get running, your linebackers really got to hustle to stay in their gap, and then you got your safeties also that should be filling as well. That's one of the things I've seen from the safeties, doing a lot better job of filling from that position, and a little slow there.
So again, they hand off this to Benjamin, but a good job by Deer Park defense stringing it out. There is a flag on the play, however.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to get the receiver out here either blocking in the back on.
Holding. Offense number 23. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still second down.
I'm going to get an opportunity to go fix that at the change in the quarter, which cannot come soon enough.
Is it just us hearing it, or will everybody hear it that loudly?
No, they're not hearing it that loudly in the stadium. This is one of the cool benefits to trying to pull double duty. Is that,
hey, well, we appreciate it, Jared. It was startlingly
It was that
loud.
or put Gavin up here to do play-by-play.
Oh.
All right, so again, a run. Look out, big run. Benjamin high-stepping to the far sideline, and he's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. An incredible effort by Caleb Benjamin around the far side. Deer Park not able to bring him down or push him out of bounds, and he skirts the sideline to get into the end zone and give Clear Lake a 6-point lead.
Yeah, give him a lot of credit because that was good patient running. I mean, he's following his blockers. You don't have to have devastating blocks to be successful. You have to have a man on a man, and he stayed patient with it. And the safety did come down trying to fill. Looked like he might have just overrun it just a hair, and then was off to the races.
So a good-looking drive from Clear Lake there, and they strike first. As we see the replay here, like you said, just patient running, and then here, pretty impressive balance to keep his feet, find his way into the end zone.
Well, from the film that I saw and kind of talking to a few people familiar with the game, he is one of their bright spots is the running back there. And, man, that was some tough running for sure. You left your post upstairs, and we got a commercial playing.
Yeah, holding up the game.
On the big screen. Community First ER paid a little extra for that.
So another squib kick by Clear Lake. And that looks like Paradise will just fall on it about the 30-yard line. And so Deer Park goes back to the drawing board. But this is what we kind of talked about in the open a little bit. The offense has been very inconsistent for Deer Park, not used to what we've seen from the Deer under Coach Flynn since he's been here, kind of having trouble getting started.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit more self-scouting here and there on some of the stuff. You know, they did the razzle-dazzle, trying to go for a trick play, didn't work out. But, I mean, some other stuff that really gashed them, I would expect them to kind of look at that some more.
So 1st and 10, they're going to hand off. That looks like Aston Jackson lined up in the backfield, and a good run there. He picks up about 12, but there is a flag on the play, so we'll check the flag.
There's no penalty on the play. The referee flag fell out.
I like the technical jargon there.
I wouldn't mind if his microphone would fall off.
Yeah, I knew that was a unintentional flag right there because he was looking at the umpire like, what's the call? The umpire looked back to feel his flag and realized it fell out.
So 1st and 10. Nice little pass up the sideline to Trey Martinez, complete for a big gain.
Yeah, that's a great play design right there. It's kind of a zone read look with a third option up the sideline if the cornerback bites, and that's exactly what they got. Man, he put it on a rope too. I mean, that was one of those passes that if you're a little bit off, you're going to miss him completely, but he was right on, and good pull in by Trey.
So Deer Park back into Clear Lake territory. Kiesehorst going to hand off to Wyatt Lay, who picks up just a couple.
They went back to powers, a little bit more, their gap scheme stuff, power, counter, dart, whatever you want to call it. We got puller here, puller there. I think maybe it was the center kind of ended up getting beat across face.
Well, now they're going tempo. Kiesehorst real quick, wide receiver screen out to the near side. Complete, again, Trey Martinez, and he is really putting up some nice numbers this year through the air, receiving 355 yards coming into this game. Again with tempo, Kiesehorst keeping it up the middle. Nice pickup of about 8.
And this is something we like to see. I mean, they've done it for a couple weeks here and there, going tempo. Like you said with Trey Martinez, man, he's one of those guys they really want to get going quick. And he'll have long periods of times where he doesn't seem to be targeted, but today they're already targeting him a couple of times, handing him the ball right off the bat.
So Kiesehorst, this one was a design.
Design QB counter is kind of what it was, and there wasn't a lot there, but then he tried to go backside of the play, and usually that's where you're going to run into some guys for sure because that's not where your blockers are going.
Yeah, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 3, Deer Park in the red zone for the first time tonight. And again, a nifty little play where he hands to Wyatt Lay, and then he in turn hands it to Schroeder around the far side.
And that's one of those things, the creativity of just running a simple play, because that was basically just power again, but with multiple handoffs. And, yeah, you risk sometimes fumbling the ball when you start exchanging too much, but worked out for him there.
So, again, they hand straight ahead.
I love that. Going to power, going to their power running game, and, yeah, they did some nifty stuff getting it there, but it was just basically power run game and put it in the end zone.
And that looked like Christian Gamez, who carried the football across the goal line. And now Deer Park just an extra point away from tying it up.
You're going to have to be really on point with the names because I am not usually. And if I
well, when I did this in the past, I was usually doing color. And, Mason really just handles it. Color is one that you can kind of just show up and just kind of, wing it.
Wing it.
Well, we thought we were going to get a replay there. But, yeah, Mason definitely does a lot of heavy lifting on these broadcasts. So when he's not here, he really puts us in a pickle. So if this is a disaster, it's on him.
Yeah, it really is. He's excellent at his job. He just needs to show up to his job.
Well, he couldn't pass up a little globe-trotting, little vacation outside of the United States. So hope he's enjoying his time.
Me too. He deserves it. Going back to some of the frustrations earlier in the season with special teams, kickoff was something that really couldn't get the pooch down. It was real shallow. And then their new kickoff specialist, Christian Gomez, is that him? That's him. He has been booting it lately, and kind of goes to a pooch middle there.
Clear Lake with a big opening here, and they are going to start with excellent field position.
Yeah, so the pooch, I was going to talk real bad about it and how I thought that we've gone away from it, and then they went back to it. It's just not much success. I want to say the average starting field position for Deer Park opponents when they pooch the ball is around the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
And, man.
So you're thinking, let's kick off as deep as we can.
Certainly.
Yeah, and how many times do we have to see them start about?
I don't know.
I don't
know. It's like
slow learners.
Yeah,
So Clear Lake will start their third drive at midfield. And Robinson hands off straight up the middle for a few.
Yeah, good job by the defensive line there, not getting pushed around a whole lot. So it makes it real cloudy for the running back on that zone play. And then the linebackers just get to step up and clean it up. So good job by the D-line.
So Clear Lake will walk to the line of scrimmage with about 10 on the play clock. And Robinson, he's going to throw deep over the middle. He's got a guy behind the defense, and they connect. A beautiful throw and catch that is going to end up on the 1-yard line. That's Talandis Cotton, the junior receiver, with the grab.
Man, it was a great throw. I mean, just nice touch, in stride, barely down at the 2-yard line.
And they're going to hustle up and go sneak straight ahead, but nothing doing there, as Robinson will maybe lose a yard to bring up second down and goal to go. I actually like that for a sneak. Deer Park has done it a lot. You know, you spend a lot of time in shotgun, and then you kind of just run up there and you do it really quick, as opposed to letting the defense get set. 30 seconds to go here in the opening quarter, and this time they huddle up. And a heavy set. Straight ahead, Clear Lake punches it in. Ashton Robinson.
There's a penalty on the play, but I'm not sure if it's going to affect the outcome or not.
Looks like a face mask. So that's going to be a declined penalty.
The result of the play is a touchdown. Personal foul, face mask, defense number 7.
Not sure why he needed to talk to Coach Lawrence about that one. So now Clear Lake lining up for the extra point. And it is up and good. So Clear Lake with a touchdown lead with 14 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe there wasn't quite as much respect being given to the passing, especially the deep passing game. But, man, that was a beautiful throw and got behind the defense. Some serious speed there by Cotton, and then punching it in. I mean, probably put your safeties a little bit more hesitant, a little bit more on their heels. Like, read your keys. Make sure you're doing your job first, not letting anybody get back behind you. But so they accepted the penalty on the kickoff.
I'm questioning the enforcement of this penalty, though. I guess because it's a personal foul, but the thing is, that penalty happens in the course of the play. And so,
yeah,
interesting.
don't ask me. I was always wrong whenever I was questioning the refs, and I certainly was always all over them, telling them they were wrong. But I assume they got it right one way or another.
Well, plus 15 on the kickoff here, so they are kicking off from Deer Park territory. And you expect another one of those.
Oh,
they do
onside.
a quick onside.
And get it.
They sure do come down with it, but there is a flag. It looks like offsides on the kickoff by Clear Lake. So they'll have to re-kick it here.
Offsides, number 4, kicking team. That penalty will be 5 yards and re-kick.
So they'll be backed up now, still in Deer Park territory.
All right, well, I mean, if you're a frontline guy, I mean,
yeah, and honestly, why not? They were doing that little
nobody
squib,
around it.
They were doing that little squib kick earlier, so it's not like they're giving up a ton of field position, especially kicking off here from midfield. So I think that's a great call by Clear Lake, and it worked. They just had a guy offsides.
Well, Landon Baker and Paradise over there, they better be on their toes because I wouldn't be surprised if they tried it again.
Absolutely. Why not? And
Other
they do it to
way.
the other side. And they wait on the ball, and Clear Lake gets it.
That is.
You got to attack the
Wild.
ball there. When you're a frontline guy, the ball goes 10 yards. Clear Lake recovers it. And so for the third time tonight, they're starting at midfield or better. Just incredible field position for Clear Lake, and the Deer Park defense, after kind of being on skates there in that last drive, they find themselves back on the field.
Special teams is a very, very nuanced, I mean, like right there, we used to try and have at least a couple of skill guys, like receiver type guys on the front line, just in case of that. But you noticed a lot of defensive guys because you want some hitters on the front line too. So just one of those things you always want to.
Robinson hands to Benjamin, who picks up a couple.
Yeah, Wojtek was all over that too, though. I mean, he did a great job taking a great angle and meeting him where he tried to turn upfield. So kept it to only.
That's the end of the first quarter.
At the end of one, it's Clear Lake 14, Deer Park 7. We'll take a quick break and come back here for the start of the second quarter. You're listening and watching Deer Park football on the Deer Network.
third.
Back here at Abshire Stadium, it's now 4th and 3 for Clear Lake. So the down marker says.
Oh, I guess it is. Okay.
Wow.
Robinson throws to the near side, and it is hauled in.
With a lot of contact. That was a good job by him, man. They are not afraid to just throw it up and let him go make a play. Got to get your head around and locate the ball if you're a DB.
Great job by Cameron Bennett to pull that one in.
First down kind of blew an opportunity for what looked like it was going to be an easy interception on the first down play, but man, wrap up. That is one thing that is very clear with multiple guys on this offense. They're not going to go down with you just running into them. The quarterback, we saw that with Ashton Robinson. Now we see it again with Caleb Benjamin. I mean, they're tough, strong runners, and when you make contact, you got to bring the arms, drive the feet.
So now 2nd and goal to go. Robinson in the shotgun. He takes the snap, and he's going to throw to the end zone, complete for a touchdown. And Clear Lake is hitting on all cylinders. Again, that's Talandis Cotton.
Well, one of the things that's kind of becoming clear right now is it doesn't look like too many guys are actually looking to play the ball. They're kind of turning and running, looking for players, trying to catch up versus kind of reading their key, eyes on the ball, and then going to try to make a play on the ball if you're dropping into space, if I'm a linebacker or even a safety on a short field. Man, you'd think that play right there in the middle of the field in between 3 defenders, one of them's going to get their hands on it. Nobody even turns to look for the ball. So I expect a few, kicks in the rear on the sideline for the defense for sure by the coaching staff here. Maybe somebody get a fire lit underneath them to really pick up the energy. Right now it feels dead and on the Deer Park sideline. The good news there is we have an opportunity with every single play for someone to step up and really ignite it and get the spark going. Jared stepped out real quick to handle a technical difficulty. So we got the kickoff coming up right here. I hope everyone is on their toes if you're a frontline guy for Deer Park because they've been successful 100% of the time on their onside attempts.
Timeout, Deer Park.
We got a timeout, which might not be a bad idea because I'm going to go over exactly what your responsibility is, who your eyes are on, what is your footwork like if I am on that return team. And again, they've shown the ability to do some very, very nice onside kicks. I'm talking perfect. Just perfect execution by the kicker, putting the ball on the ground and getting the big hop and right to your guy. Well, coach is down there right now probably telling those frontline guys, hey, look, you see the ball on the ground, you've got to go attack it. You, if you're one of the, like we used to tell the first 2 guys from the hash, you are going to go lay someone out. Everyone else is going to attack the ball. And I'm assuming that's what the timeout is right there, just kind of reinforcing what your responsibility is on kickoff.
How was the referee's mic there, Shane? Was it better?
Yes, much, much better. I feel like I'll survive now.
Was it still loud?
No,
Okay,
it was
good.
perfect.
Good.
So Could have also been that they only had 10 guys on the field.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm being told. So
So now with a little pooch kick to the far side. This one's taken on a run. That's Schroeder. Look out. He's got some wheels. He stops and cuts back inside and brought down across the 40-yard line. So Deer Park was going to start this drive with better field position than they've had. And, you know, you talked about the importance of special teams. It can cost you games, but it can also give you a little spark, something like that, just to get the crowd back into it, to get your sideline back into it. And we're going to see if Deer Park's offense can put a drive together and move the chains.
got to have something when you're down 2 scores right here. That's certain. They got the scat back, Ashton Jackson in, and I really like the way that boy runs the ball.
So they hand off to him across the far side. And he, instead of cutting up, he kind of strings it out to the sidelines. It'll be a pickup of about 5. Call it 4. So 2nd and 6 now at the 45-yard line.
A little different look right there. I saw one time where it looked like he really wanted to put his foot in the ground and just shoot upfield, which I was kind of expecting. But he still did go for some good positive yards there.
So now Kieselhorst, he's going to throw. And he's going deep into double coverage.
Wow.
And what a play on the ball, but it's incomplete, ripped out by the safety. Excellent job by, that's the corner rather, Terrell Stinson, who rips it free. But I think you got to really applaud the effort by Schroeder there, who I thought was going to be playing defense.
Yeah, I mean, it was an ill-advised throw. They were all over it. You had 2 guys you're throwing straight at, and he did a great job going up and kind of coming back to the ball to make the best play on it.
So now Kieselhorst will move the pocket, and he's under pressure, and now he's going to run with it to the far side. He's got 1 guy to beat for a first down, and he's going to go for more. Now cutting back to the far sideline.
Well, isn't this just kind of reminiscent of so much that we see? You know, I don't know if he just didn't have his eyes to the first progression, second progression, or what it was, because he did have Paradise out in the flat very quickly, but I think maybe he was already looking past him. And then he had a guy in his face, but this is one of those things he does so well. Hey, you guys go deep, and then I'm going to scramble around and just take off. That's why he's the leading rusher on the team.
So first down at Clear Lake's 25. Paradise comes in motion. They hand straight ahead, bobbled the handoff. There was Wyatt Lay, but he picks up a handful.
Hey, I mean, good job by him, the concentration to kind of hold on to the ball and then still get positive yardage, because I thought that thing was about to be on the ground.
Wouldn't that have been a heartbreaker after Deer Park, with a play to spark this offense, gets down into Clear Lake territory. And now they split out 2 receivers to Kieselhorst's right. Schroeder comes in motion, and they hand to him on the jet sweep. They fake the reverse, and he's going to throw it, and he had Paradise kind of out there in the flats to the far side, but not able to complete it. Schroeder's first pass of the year.
Oh, man. He's a little frustrated because he did have him wide open. But, you know, it kind of those trickery plays, as I called them, they're all based on timing. And then you have Saldana kind of fall down on the play initially to he's the fake reverse guy. And so it just kind of throws you off whenever small things like that happen on the trick plays.
So Kieselhorst now throws quick out to the flats here. That's Aston Jackson, and he takes it across the 15 down to about the 13, and that's enough for a Deer Park first down.
Yeah, it was a great job. He just flipped it out to the flats where he had space to work, and I really liked seeing him out in kind of open space like that, because he has some playmaking ability to him that is just really fun to watch.
So now Kieselhorst, he's going to hold on to it straight ahead. Look out, Kieselhorst, as he runs over the safety and is into the end zone for a touchdown.
Oh.
Was there any doubt?
No. in 28. Man, I'm sorry, son, but you were the last line of defense, and he was not going to avoid you. He was going to aim for you, and that's what he did. And I mean,
Darian Promise Jr. And I had no doubt that Kieselhorst was going to win that matchup. We've seen it too many times.
Yeah, great job. It's just a QB counter right there. He hits it downhill, gets a kind of a head of steam. A little tripped up right before contact, or it could have been a lot worse on the end of that.
So Hurtado on for the extra point, and it is up and good. So Deer Park cuts the lead to 1 touchdown with 7 minutes and 35 seconds left in the first half.
You know, I was thinking this when you were off gallivanting and fixing something technical, I don't know what, but they went down 21-7. I didn't really have a sense of panic or anything on the sideline. It just seemed a little bit dead, but didn't feel like anything certainly insurmountable. And now the pendulum is certainly swung as far as momentum to Deer Park right here. You'd like to see him step up and have a nice, strong defensive stop. No big plays, no big gashes, and come back and let your offense do that again for sure.
So that got the Deer Park crowd back into it.
Don't pooch it, Coach. I'm going to come down there. I'm going to come down there.
So
kick the ball.
I think that's actually Jose Garcia Mutate, who's kicking 36. These numbers are really
hard
difficult
to read
see.
from here. Yes, yeah. I apologize.
And they were going to stick with the pooch. See how it goes for them.
A little better elevation right there.
Ooh, stiff arm. I think he stepped out of bounds, and they'll finally mark him out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. So still really good field position for Clear Lake. Yeah, I agree. Unless I mean, you watch some of the film. Does Clear Lake have just a lightning in a bottle type kickoff returner that you noticed? Because unless you're trying to keep it away from a Devin Hester type, I think I'd rather kick it deep and try to cover.
Yeah, I think I'm just thinking of previous games more than anything, and not necessarily the individual personnel matchup here. It's just statistically,
right.
Speed option look again.
And Deer Park is going to swallow that up for a big loss, but a flag comes in at the end of the play. An outstanding defensive play to keep that option from going anywhere.
Well, Deer Park's not going to have any toes left on their feet from just blasting themselves.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 4. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
So a really bad play turns into a big gain of 15 on the penalty, and Deer Park's penalty yardage has been considerable this year, 30 for 353 yards coming into this game.
Another 30 in personals today.
So Robinson will hand to Benjamin, who goes ahead for a couple of yards before being slung down.
You know, that's one of those things you really try to get all your players to buy into, being a complete player. You know, you can have some really, really stud athletes that can do a lot of good stuff, and then they have the mental lapses occasionally where, you know, they get the personal foul or the unnecessary roughness or the face mask, whatever it is. Hey, we need you to be a complete ball player. Eliminate all those mental errors for sure.
Straight ahead again. Ooh, big hit by Adam White on the far sideline.
Well, I'm going to tell you, that started with
Colquitt.
Colquitt. Man, he had some serious penetration, and it just looked like he was moving guys down there.
Yeah, Adam White with the hit, but Colquitt definitely made the play. So now 3rd and long. This defense trying to get off the field here. And Robinson's going to throw to the far side. And he's got his man, Adam White, not able to knock it down. He was in the passing lane, but
yeah, that's one of those things I was kind of talking about. Right there was it was a lot better technical work by him dropping to, he's like what we call a two dropper there, where he's trying to get back into the kind of the flat, the curl route there, and it was just another nice touch pass by the quarterback right over his head.
So Robinson looks to throw again. He's going deep over the middle, and that falls incomplete, just out of reach, but flag here in the middle of the field.
Offense number 72. 10-yard penalty from the spot to foul. First down.
Bryce did a good job right there. He kind of stacked the receiver, so he's not allowing him to get beat over the top, and then he actually turned his head and started looking and trying to find the football in the air, which was a nice job by him.
Yeah, he was looking for an interception. He's got 3 on the year.
Did you see the moon tonight? Pretty incredible.
Is that a full moon?
I think it's called a harvest moon. Actually, I don't know. It's yellow.
I was about to be really impressed. It's like, wow, you know a lot more about the moon than I thought. So Benjamin takes the carry, and he's brought down. Great job by the cornerback on that side, Andre Jackson, coming up and making the play behind the line of scrimmage. And so,
oh yeah, and Benjamin is certainly feeling that. That's one of them dead leg type tackles where get you with the helmet right on that thigh board or right outside of it, and woo,
yep,
certainly stings and makes it a little hard to walk for a second. Hopefully he'll be okay and able to return to this game, because he really is a fun running back to watch.
Here's the replay. Look at Jackson coming up. Good job.
Yeah.
Adam White in pursuit.
I mean, he has some really good natural instinctual football playing skills, Andre Jackson does. His eyes are in the backfield right there. The receiver's trying to kind of bring him in closer to the safety. But once, he feels himself getting sucked in a little bit, eyes are in the backfield, the ball is getting bounced out his way, and then he goes and attacks downfield like that, and kind of like just a homing missile, man. Put the helmet on the thigh board and brought him down quick.
So 2nd and 22 to go. Clear Lake not really huddling, kind of just standing at the line, and now they go quick. Robinson's going to fake the give, and then he's going to throw into the flats near side. He's got a big pickup.
Oh, he can't do that.
And the block, every official on the field throwing the flag. You can't come back and block, and that's exactly what happened.
Blindside block, offense number 33.
Well, back in the good days,
that'd have been a great play.
It would have been a great play, because I made a living doing the same thing, coming back against the grain and lighting people up that weren't looking. But not in today's game. They call it the wussification of America.
Yeah, trying to protect those players who don't see it coming. An excellent block there by the receiver on that side, but illegal, so they continue to go backwards.
Yeah, I call that kind of a mental error there, because understanding the new rules and, well, I mean, I guess it's not that new anymore, but understanding everything and making sure your players do not do that is part of the game. But, I mean, you got to understand you can't grab face masks too, right?
Absolutely. Now Robinson fakes the handoff. He's going to throw, looking for a little wheel on the far side, but out of reach of his intended receiver, Talandis Cotton, who's already caught a couple of touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, man, he can certainly move, but they're giving him a little bit more cushion than earlier in the game, and staying with him kind of step for step, trying to stay on top of his deep route, because obviously they got no problem letting this ball rip and going deep. And we see Caleb Benjamin comes back into the game now.
And now a big 3rd down. Deer Park trying to get off the field. It's 3rd and 26. Robinson with a little screen over the middle, just off the fingertips of his running back, Caleb Benjamin. That goes incomplete, and so it's 4th and forever. And Clear Lake gonna take their turn at trying to pin Deer Park deep with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left to go here in this first half.
Yeah, I liked it. They brought some pressure. They had Jaden Contreras coming off the edge there, kind of his outside linebacker position, untouched, and so quarterback knows that we're dumping it off. We're trying to get it to him, but Contreras really put this pedal to the metal to get there.
So Schroeder calls for a fair catch, and he makes it at the 23-yard line. 4 minutes and 18 seconds left in the half. Deer Park with the ball and an opportunity to go down and cut into this lead a little bit more or even tie it.
I'm expecting Kieselhorst again to really kind of bow his neck and just
take it into his own hands.
Do whatever he needs to do to kind of get the ball down the field here.
So they hand to Trey Martinez, and look out, he's got some room. He cuts back to the middle of the field. He's got a couple of guys to beat there, but a big pickup from Trey Martinez, and he takes it across midfield and into Clear Lake territory. Great way to start the drive.
And why not? The first play of the game, they did the same thing, outside zone. They got the receiver stock blocking out there with a lead blocker, and he got the edge both times with big plays each time. Keep coming back to it. Power.
So again, they hand off to Wyatt Lay, who goes ahead for a few. Good pickup there on first down.
Yeah, he took a pretty nice shot by, it looked like Cameron Nelson, the DB, coming up and putting a hit on him, but he maintained his feet and was able to fall forward. Well, they got him listed as a DB. It looks like he's playing the invert type safety role right now.
So Zachary Zuniga and Braylon Aston Jackson will join Kieselhorst in the backfield, and a nice little nifty handoff to Aston Jackson on a little misdirection there.
Yeah, the old behind the back handoff is like
Statue of Liberty
iteration of the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, and it was just counter. That's all it was. It was counter, but the way they had the motion and then the handoff makes it a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, Zuniga comes across the face of the quarterback to the near side, while Aston Jackson just kind of slips to the backside and gets handed behind his back. Again, they hand it to Aston Jackson, and they are going to get a face mask, but he somehow squeezes out of a tackle and is able to pick up 5 on his own.
And that was 100% on his own. Like I'm telling you, man, he is fun to watch play because he is hard to tackle. And
yeah, very slippery, very shifty.
Foul, face mask defense.
Yeah, he's got that.
Result of the play, first down.
Trying to think of somebody he reminds me of, like I don't know, stop-start kind of guy, almost like old school Barry Sanders, but in a receiver Wes Welker body. Sproles, that's a guy. Just got Darren Sproles. That's a good idea.
That's a good reference.
Yeah,
there.
great reference.
So Aston Jackson will come out of the ball game. Paradise in motion. They hand to the running back straight ahead, and he is stopped for a very short gain. Pretty good job by those linebackers, Omar Mastori and Elijah Brown, to hold it to just 1 yard.
Yeah, I can't say this enough. I really like the way that they are doing their run game right now. They're doing some nifty kind of stuff in the backfield with the guy not getting the ball, and it's all about just kind of messing up the defense's eye control. Unfortunately, right there, they were disciplined and watched them pulling.
Little pass to Paradise. He's got it, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Deer Park pulls within 1 with 1:44 to go in the first half.
Oh, yeah. Like it when he gets the ball. It seems to be usually a touchdown, doesn't it, when he's getting the ball down on this end of the field.
You knew when he was lined up in the slot on the near side, they like to slip him up the seams. And so they motion him across the formation. He slips up the seam. Nobody picks him up. easy throw and catch from
Well,
Kieselhorst.
it's all about timing because they'll equally just flare them out into the flats. And so you start getting used to seeing him out in the flats. You're like, hey, I can go rally to that. No big deal. And then he cuts it up into the seam, like you said. And whoop, nobody's there for him. But, I mean, even the little play action where they kind of mesh in the ball with the running back and then getting it out real quick. Good execution all the way around. So now we're back to a first quarter ball game. Started the 0-0.
Yeah, and good job by Paradise getting into the end zone. Caught that ball 2 or 3 yards short of the goal line, but strong enough to push his defender into the end zone. So 21-21 with 1:44 to go. Good job by Deer Park battling back after some adversity, being down 2 scores in the first half. And you can tell by how far away the kicker is here, we're going to get another pooch kick. This one a little deeper. And so now, well covered by Deer Park, but not able to bring him down. That's the running back, Benjamin, and he reverses field and is able to turn nothing into something. Great field position again, thanks to Caleb Benjamin, and poor tackling.
Very poor tackling. You can't go try and bump them with your man boobs. And I mean, it's just like you got to go lower than that. You can't go run up on them like that, grab it onto their shoulder pads. He did a good job. He had a nice stiff arm. I thought he kind of held it a little bit long on the face mask, but not going to get that call right now, and got to make the tackles.
So back to the field we go. First down. And they hand back to Caleb Benjamin, and he, with a shifty little jump cut, is able to get back to the line of scrimmage after, again, looking like he's going to be brought down behind the line. He's not easy to bring down.
No, not at all. I mean, he is one of their star players for sure. And yeah, I guess you don't want to kick it to him, special teams wise, but
well, but they had it covered.
They had it covered. They had it covered, and you got to make. I mean, you do some good tackling, then it's balls on like the 20.
So 3 receivers out to Robinson's right, and he's going to do a little keeper design all the way to the far side. Great job being run down from behind. Cameron Colquitt, that senior captain, running it down, and so that is going to make for 3rd down, and the clock is going to continue to run with just over a minute to go. Big 3rd down here for Deer Park. You'd like to see this crowd get into it a little bit on some of these big 3rd downs.
They're thinking about homecoming and the mums.
Quick pass to Robinson. Off the hands of the receiver. That was Talandis Cotton, who, I mean, should have been a completion, but it pops up in the air. And again, fortunate that it didn't turn into an interception.
I don't want to call him out too much, but they used to say you have alligator arms when you got a little bit worried you were going to get hit.
Yeah.
Your arms didn't they stayed tucked to your body a little too much, and he certainly thought he was about to take a big wallop, I think.
Yeah, Bryce Medley was there in coverage. Here's the replay. Just off the hands, and now 4th down, and it stops the clock at 45. So they will have to punt to Deer Park, and it's blocked. Deer Park able to block it, and they are going to take over in Clear Lake territory with 38 seconds to go. He just pushed the personal protector into the
straight
kicker.
into the kicker. Did you get a look at who that was? With just the bull rush shoving him back like that? I couldn't tell who.
I didn't. We need to see the replay, and here it comes. It's right up the middle. 46.
Oh, that's
who it was.
Wojtek.
Yeah, Wojtek. Coming right up the middle.
Well, it's never going to be an easy battle for a personal protector when you're going against a starting inside linebacker, that's for sure.
So Deer Park will take over, and that is a huge play in this game. I thought maybe Clear Lake was going to try to just let the clock run after that second down play, and they got to 3rd and long. Instead, they throw it. It goes incomplete, stops the clock, and then the punt gets blocked, and now Deer Park finds themselves in striking distance. And Kieselhorst up the seam, but it's not brought in. Schroeder not able to bring it in.
Pulling on the field, pass is incomplete.
A great pass. Schroeder definitely with several defenders around him. Looked like he was going to bring that in for the touchdown, but it pops free.
Yeah, it just feels like tonight we're kind of like on the verge of just saying Schroeder made an excellent play, but unfortunately, it's just he almost made an excellent play. He's not very good.
So again, they'll pass. The rush goes by Kieselhorst, and he's playing backyard football. He was trying to throw it to his man.
Yeah,
Looks like Saldana. He was trying to do scramble drill there, but Saldana fell down, and there was also a defender underneath that I think Kieselhorst may have missed.
We got to check Saldana's cleats. He seems to be falling quite a bit.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier. So 3rd and 10. Kieselhorst looking to throw. He's going to go back the other way, and he's in trouble, and he's going to go down.
Now you're out here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate right there, because if you're Kieselhorst, you want to, if you don't have anything, I know it's difficult when you want to make a play, but if you don't have anything, you want to just throw it away and give your field goal kicker an opportunity. Now, this would be a 47-yarder if they tried it from here.
Well, he does have the wind at his back, and I tell you what, our boy Hurtado was kicking some 40, 45-yarders into the wind for pregame. So, you know, I think give him a shot, man. I don't know if we're going to get to see it or not, but
well, I agree. Even if you miss it, Clear Lake would take over at, you know, the 30, 37-yard line, but they only have 15 seconds left. The only thing you can't do is have a block.
Were you having some flashbacks to some of the Houston Texans game management stuff at the end of some halves?
Oh, goodness. Don't get me started on that. Yeah, that's tough there. Kieselhorst wants to make a play, and so often he has made off-schedule plays, like you mentioned earlier, with his feet. But that time, great job of Clear Lake of staying disciplined, able to contain him there within the pocket. He tried to kind of reverse field, not able to do it. So now they will indeed send out the kicking team, and Hurtado is going to line up. For a 47-yard kick, and Clear Lake is going to try to ice him.
Timeout, Clear Lake.
Put the ball down. Go ahead and take your kick. Come on, man. Get a practice kick in.
So Hurtado's still out there on the field, lining it up.
If you're Clear Lake, you're really probably feeling, I would think, pretty good going into halftime if it goes in 21-21, knowing that you're getting the ball to start the half. And I don't know. Yeah, you did give up a little bit of a lead there, but they've seen that they have the ability to score and score quickly, so wouldn't be too worried about it.
Yeah, and they've this was a great defensive stand right here, with their back kind of against the wall after the block punt. But Deer Park only able to go backwards. So now the long field goal attempt, and Clear Lake does have a return man back in the end zone. So if this comes short, the kick is up, and it is no good. Wide left, just left. It had the distance. but not able to get it inside the uprights. So now with 11 seconds left, Clear Lake will take over. And you can already see the Deer Park defenders. They've got a couple of guys very deep. So now Clear Lake taking their time, and
I was about to say we're missing one, but now here comes Wojtek. So it looked like they were kind of trying to line up in a prevent at first, and then they switched it kind of just a deeper quarters almost.
And so now they'll just hand to Benjamin, who steps out of bounds across the 35-yard line. And so with 5 seconds left, Clear Lake will have one more play. If this is you, would you take a knee and just go into the half with a tie game, or would you have some fun, maybe throw it deep, throw it underneath?
I would I'd probably run the ball. Just run the ball. If he springs one, that's great. But
so Robinson's going to take it himself to the far sideline. And the clock's hit 0.
Whoa.
He's pulled down by Wojtek. And we will head to the half. The referee really trying to be the play-by-play man himself tonight. But we'll head to the half, 21-21. Come back here for halftime where the 2024 homecoming queen will be crowned. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Thank you, Deer Park, for welcoming DAG Law Firm and trusting us for the past 2 years. We are still here for you and will always be right around the corner.
Community First DR is open 24/7 with little to no wait time. Our friendly medical team is standing by waiting to provide you concierge-level medical care. Caring for our Deer Park athletes is one of our top priorities. Community First DR is conveniently located on Highway 225 and East Boulevard. Community First DR is committed to putting your health, your community, and you first, every day.
In 1928, Shell moved to Deer Park and started operations the next year. This was the beginning of a lifelong partnership. Over the decades, the site and community have grown together and stepped up to the challenge time and again. Today, Shell Chemicals proudly produces the building blocks to transform our modern world. They give us the clothes we wear and the gadgets we enjoy. As our employees give back to the community, products made with chemicals care for us too. They help us see better and improve hygiene. Our site creates jobs and helps bring the community together, while chemical building blocks keep us connected, both virtually, physically, and inside our homes. Chemicals help make our world better, beginning right here in Deer Park, the birthplace of Texas.
Community First DR is open 24/7 with little to no wait time. Our friendly medical team is standing by waiting to provide you concierge-level medical care. Caring for our Deer Park athletes is one of our top priorities. Community First DR is conveniently located on Highway 225 and East Boulevard. Community First DR is committed to putting your health, your community, and you first, every day.
Okay, so take this right. Now pull into that parking space. Now put the car in park. Great, thanks so much. It's my lunch break.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop where flavor gets its wings.
Order now at Wingstop in Deer Park, 7730 Spencer Highway.
I'm a proud Deer Park High alum, class of 2002. I grew up with Coach Flynn. We played baseball together. Now, I'm an attorney in Houston, fighting to make our community safer. We've recovered hundreds of millions for injured people, from car wrecks to refinery accidents. Deer Park prepared me for the challenges I face today, and when you need help, I'm prepared to fight for you.
This is what we do, Danny. You gotta see it to believe it. We deliver quality and quantity in every sub.
And a lot of them in vigor.
Just meats and cheeses.
But definitely some mojo.
Maybe.
Freshly sliced since 1956. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
It's time to live up to your promise. Have you heard about the Promise at San Jack Scholarship? The scholarship offers money to help cover books and tuition for high school graduates from the San Jacinto Taxing District. Go to sanjac.edu/promise to submit your pledge and application for a debt-free degree. San Jacinto College, we're changing impossible to I'm possible.
Thank you, Deer Park, for welcoming DAG Law Firm and trusting us for the past 2 years. We are still here for you and will always be right around the corner.
Community First DR is open 24/7 with little to no wait time. Our friendly medical team is standing by waiting to provide you concierge-level medical care. Caring for our Deer Park athletes is one of our top priorities. Community First DR is conveniently located on Highway 225 and East Boulevard. Community First DR is committed to putting your health, your community, and you first, every day.
In 1928, Shell moved to Deer Park and started operations the next year. This was the beginning of a lifelong partnership. Over the decades, the site and community have grown together and stepped up to the challenge time and again. Today, Shell Chemicals proudly produces the building blocks to transform our modern world. They give us the clothes we wear and the gadgets we enjoy. As our employees give back to the community, products made with chemicals care for us too. They help us see better and improve hygiene. Our site creates jobs and helps bring the community together, while chemical building blocks keep us connected, both virtually, physically, and inside our homes. Chemicals help make our world better, beginning right here in Deer Park, the birthplace of Texas.
Community First DR is open 24/7 with little to no wait time. Our friendly medical team is standing by waiting to provide you concierge-level medical care. Caring for our Deer Park athletes is one of our top priorities. Community First DR is conveniently located on Highway 225 and East Boulevard. Community First DR is committed to putting your health, your community, and you first, every day.
Okay, so take this right. Now pull into that parking space. Now put the car in park. Great, thanks so much. It's my lunch break.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Order now at Wingstop in Deer Park, 7730 Spencer Highway.
I'm a proud Deer Park High alum, class of 2002. I grew up with Coach Flynn. We played baseball together. Now, I'm an attorney in Houston, fighting to make our community safer. We've recovered hundreds of millions for injured people, from car wrecks to refinery accidents. Deer Park prepared me for the challenges I face today, and when you need help, I'm prepared to fight for you.
This is what we do, Danny. You gotta see it to believe it. We deliver quality and quantity in every sub.
And a lot of them in vigor.
Just meats and cheeses.
But definitely some mojo.
Maybe.
Freshly sliced since 1956. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
It's time to live up to your promise. Have you heard about the Promise at San Jack Scholarship? The scholarship offers money to help cover books and tuition for high school graduates from the San Jacinto Taxing District. Go to sanjac.edu/promise to submit your pledge and application for a debt-free degree. San Jacinto College, we're changing impossible to I'm possible.
Thank you, Deer Park, for welcoming DAG Law Firm and trusting us for the past 2 years. We are still here for you and will always be right around the corner.
Community First DR is open 24/7 with little to no wait time. Our friendly medical team is standing by waiting to provide you concierge-level medical care. Caring for our Deer Park athletes is one of our top priorities. Community First DR is conveniently located on Highway 225 and East Boulevard. Community First DR is committed to putting your health, your community, and you first, every day.
In 1928, Shell moved to Deer Park and started operations the next year. This was the beginning of a lifelong partnership. Over the decades, the site and community have grown together and stepped up to the challenge time and again. Today, Shell Chemicals proudly produces the building blocks to transform our modern world. They give us the clothes we wear and the gadgets we enjoy. As our employees give back to the community, products made with chemicals care for us too. They help us see better and improve hygiene. Our site creates jobs and helps bring the community together, while chemical building blocks keep us connected, both virtually, physically, and inside our homes. Chemicals help make our world better, beginning right here in Deer Park, the birthplace of Texas.
Community First DR is open 24/7 with little to no wait time. Our friendly medical team is standing by waiting to provide you concierge-level medical care. Caring for our Deer Park athletes is one of our top priorities. Community First DR is conveniently located on Highway 225 and East Boulevard. Community First DR is committed to putting your health, your community, and you first, every day.
Okay, so take this right. Now pull into that parking space. Now put the car in park. Great, thanks so much. It's my lunch break.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Order now at Wingstop in Deer Park, 7730 Spencer Highway.
I'm a proud Deer Park High alum, class of 2002. I grew up with Coach Flynn. We played baseball together. Now, I'm an attorney in Houston, fighting to make our community safer. We've recovered hundreds of millions for injured people, from car wrecks to refinery accidents. Deer Park prepared me for the challenges I face today, and when you need help, I'm prepared to fight for you.
This is what we do, Danny. You gotta see it to believe it. We deliver quality and quantity in every sub.
And a lot of them in vigor.
Just meats and cheeses.
But definitely some mojo.
Maybe.
Freshly sliced since 1956. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
It's time to live up to your promise. Have you heard about the Promise at San Jack Scholarship? The scholarship offers money to help cover books and tuition for high school graduates from the San Jacinto Taxing District. Go to sanjac.edu/promise to submit your pledge and application for a debt-free degree. San Jacinto College, we're changing impossible to I'm possible.
Thank you, Deer Park, for welcoming DAG Law Firm and trusting us for the past 2 years. We are still here for you and will always be right around the corner.
She's also a member father and stepfather passed away. Ariana looks to him as a role model and is honored to have him by her side tonight. Junior attendant, Lila Diaz. Lila is on junior varsity cheer team, where she is a 3-time member of the UIL cheer team, as well as a 2-time NCAA All-American cheerleader. Lila is a 3-year member of Best Buddies program and is also involved with student council. Lila is the daughter of Victor and Giselle Diaz, and she is escorted tonight by her father, Victor Diaz. We now introduce the 24-25 homecoming king and queen candidates representing the senior class. Maddox Schultz. Maddox has been a part of the Deer Park football program all 4 years of high school, where he is currently a varsity team member. Maddox is a member of PALS program and participates in co-op work program. Maddox is also part of the youth group at First Baptist Church, Pasadena. Maddox is the son of Freddie and Monica Schultz, and tonight Maddox is escorted by his mother, Monica Schultz. Soraya Gongora. Soraya is a part of the ADVENT program and has received Academic Achievement Award for her GPA. Soraya has been a member of Volunteers, Student Council, as well as member of Spanish National Honor Society. She was also recently inducted into Mu Alpha Theta. Sarah hopes to attain a master's degree in nursing and pursue her career as an anesthetic nurse. Soraya is the daughter of Martina and Edgar Gongora Ramirez. Sarah is escorted tonight by her father, Edgar Gongora Ramirez. Scott Johnson. Scott has received the Academic Achievement Award all 4 years of high school and is the top 10% of his class. Scott is a member of choir, the National Honor Society, the Spanish and Science National Honor Society, and Mu Alpha Theta. Scott has also participated in the Academic Decathlon, Volunteers, and the Chess Club, as well as the PALS program. Scott plans to attend Texas A&M University and study in engineering. Scott is the son of Michelle and Mike Johnson and is escorted tonight by his mother, Michelle Johnson. Kaya Cromings. Kaya is the current captain of the varsity cheer team. She was an All-American cheerleader and NCAA national champion, as well as a UIL cheer team member, where she recently earned silver at state. Kaya is a pole vaulter on the varsity track team. She has won district and has been an area qualifier 3 times so far. Kaya is a member of choir, student council, and is president of PALS. Kaya attends First Baptist Church in Pasadena and plans to attend Texas State University and major in business and finance. Kaya is the daughter of Suzanne and Coy Cromings. Kaya is escorted tonight by her father, Coy Cromings. Isaac Aguilera. Isaac was a student council member where he held the office of historian and fundraising committee chair. He is a member of DECA and has served as president his junior year. He has served as vice president and is current president of the Spanish National Honor Society. Isaac is a member of the Business Professionals of America and was named as junior ambassador, and he is the current secretary of FCCLA. Isaac has also been a part of Volunteers, Best Buddies, and PALS program. Isaac is the son of Amanda and Gustavo Aguilera and is escorted tonight by his mother, Amanda Aguilera. Julia Andrews. Julia has been an Academic Achievement Award winner and is part of the PALS program. Julia is a member of the Deer Escorts, where she has held the position of Executive Social Officer, and she is currently the Lieutenant for the Dance Officers. She is also a member of the Elite Dreamscapes dance group, where they won the overall grand champion team at Crowd Pleasers. This year, Julia and the Escorts will perform at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. She plans to attend the University of Houston and major in business and pastry arts, and hoping of fulfilling her dream of owning her own bakery. Julia attends Second Baptist Church in Pasadena and is the daughter of Sabrina and Justin Andrews. Julia is escorted tonight by her father, Justin Andrews. Assisting the crowning tonight for the 2023-24 Homecoming King are Sergio Gomez and Queen Aubrey Solis. Aubrey is a former swing choir member and is now part of Cain Alvarado Band. She is currently attending the University of Houston, where she is majoring in journalism. Sergio is attending the University of Houston on a full ride, majoring in mechanical engineering with plans on obtaining his master's degree. Sergio is president of the soccer club at U of H and is captain of the soccer team. Congratulations to all the attendants and to the senior court. Deer Park High School, your 2024-25 homecoming king is Isaac Aguilera. And your 2024-25 homecoming queen is Julia Andrews. Now being escorted from the field, the 2023-24 homecoming king and queen, Sergio Gomez and Aubrey Solis. Freshman attendant Sage Wells. Sophomore attendant Ariana Bobbitt. Junior attendant Lila Diaz. Senior attendant Maddox Schultz. Senior attendant Soraya Gongora. Scott Johnson. Senior attendant Giant Cromies. And let's give a big round of applause for your 2024-25 Deer Park Homecoming King and Queen, Isaac Aguilera and Julia Andrews. Thank you to all of our alumni for your continued support of Deer Park High School. Welcome home and go Deer.
So back here at Clyde Abshire Stadium, 21-21 tie football game as we get ready to start the second half.
Mic check.
And yes, the official's mic does still work. I feel like, Shane, since we've started giving officials microphones, they've really started to find out how much they love it. Like, do you find that that is true from what you've seen? I mean, I think I don't know, maybe they secretly want to be like a pop star or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you always have the officials that want to be the star of the show, it feels like, and want to throw their flag more and slow the game up. I'm not an official hater all the time. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. What I'm more interested in seeing is can the Deer Park kind of continue with the momentum they had the end of that second half going into this half and, keep the big plays down on defense and maximize all the big plays on offense. Obviously, penalties, you're always going to try and eliminate all those as well, right? But right here, you got to kick off again, and so far, man, coverage has been tough sledding for the Deer all season long, but it feels like tonight that just kind of the average starting field position has been incredible for Clear Lake.
Yeah, and we've talked about Deer Park's offensive struggles this year. They've also seen on the defensive side, they've certainly given up more points than a year ago, more yardage. But another thing that we have seen is Deer Park coming out after halftime and playing a little bit differently. They've certainly had a better second half than they've had first half here in these first 6 games of 2024.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's a sign of good coaching whenever your second half is significantly improved, as you're figuring things out and you're going explaining it to the guys and they're executing better. But we'll see right here.
So a little bit bigger run at this one, and he's going to kick it deep, and it goes over the return man's head and dies on the 2-yard line. And the ball is free, but it looks like Caleb Benjamin was able to jump on it.
That's what we're talking about right there. I mean, I'm glad they listened to me. You know?
What a kick, though. What a kick, though, that just died right there on the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, he put the full boot into it, and then he got the nice bounce where it just.
Yeah, Deer Park nearly with an opportunity to steal a possession right there. Look how close that was.
Yeah, Caleb Benjamin thought, you know, I think he thought it was definitely bouncing in, and then when it kind of just died right there, he was like, oh, no, and it was kind of a frantic scramble to see who's jumping on it.
So after a first half of great field position, Clear Lake now starting back on their 3-yard line for their first possession of the second half. Ashton Robinson, he's going to run a little. Oh, look out!
That's a fumble.
He runs an option.
Deer Park's got it.
And you are right. He pitched it back. What a interesting play call there to run an option in the end zone. A dangerous pitch. It hits the running back, Caleb Benjamin, and he takes a huge hit.
Timeout.
It was read perfectly. I mean, couldn't tell if that was.
Yeah, I'd love to see another angle on that replay.
Yeah, I couldn't tell who it was that put the big hit on, but man, he came flying up and, I mean, just untouched, and he blasted the running back right in the gut.
Yeah, even if we could just get a shot from the high 50 shot, I mean, you would be able to see exactly what happened there.
I hear you pleading with your students upstairs working the replay, trying to get us one, but it's all right. Great recognition by the defense. Everybody definitely stayed at home and read their keys and blew that up quickly.
So Deer Park going to start at the 5, but it's going to be moved back.
Still first down.
Another 5, so they'll actually start at the 10, but narrowly missed coming away with the live ball on the kickoff. But the first play, Clear Lake runs an option, and you could tell that play was going nowhere from the start.
In my head, it felt like it was it was supposed to look like speed option. I was not expecting him to actually pitch the ball.
Turn up, yeah. So now Kiesehorst, he fakes the give, and he's going to just pass it out into the flats here to
Trey Martinez right there in the flat. He did a nice job securing the catch quickly. He knew he was about to take a hit and had both hands on the ball there. So good job by Trey. And, you know, that's one of those kind of flat plays where they do it quite a bit. They'll slip someone out there, and Kiesehorst got rid of the ball pretty quickly. I like to see that, man.
Again, he's going to pass it. Again, it's to Trey Martinez out of the backfield, but he will lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, and I feel like he might have actually protected Trey by throwing it a little bit behind him, because had he let him, the cornerback was kind of just sitting out there waiting on it. Could have ended in a big collision. But needless to say, they've gone twice into the flats. What's in store here? They're going to try and hit him right up the gut, slip someone up the seam.
Third down.
Excuse me.
From the 7. And they will just hand off. And a short gain. That's Aston Jackson. And so that will bring up 4th down and 4 to go. And they will run on the field goal team. So Deer Park looking to take the lead for the first time tonight on a field goal, but you got to know that this feels a little disappointing for that Deer Park offense, getting the ball at the 5, and in 3 plays, they are able to pick up 1 yard.
Well, I guess I'll kind of break it down here after the kick, but it's good. What I think kind of was going on right there, there might be a little bit of frustration, is the first pass into the flat where he threw it to Trey Martinez was well covered. And Trey knew he was going to take a hit, and they came right back with basically flipped it and ran it the other way. And again, it was well covered the opposite side. So now you're into 3rd, and again, kind of 3rd and 5 range. And they went to one of their plays, that outside zone play, and I really like Action Jackson running it. But when you get down into a condensed field like that, I mean, all your safeties, everybody's walked up a lot closer, so you just don't have quite the same amount of field to play with on that. Where previously when they'd run it kind of starting off a drive on their own end zone, and they started it in the middle of the field the second time they ran it with Trey Martinez. So just a little bit of probably the field position played against you in that 3rd down call. And I like them on 4th down taking the points for sure, going ahead and taking the lead. Let your defense work right here.
Absolutely, the first lead of the game for Deer Park, 24-21. Just under 10 minutes to go in the 3rd. Another high, deep kick, and that is bobbled, but picked up in a nice little return by Talandis Cotton.
Still, I mean, a good return is less than 30. You know, they're at the sub 30-yard line, and the kicker's the one making a nice, sure tackle right there. But I tell you what, if he did not slip, I think it was the inside linebacker, Wojtek, flying down the field. If he did not make that cut, we might have seen a absolute, just a train wreck occur, because Wojtek was not breaking down. He was going. He was going.
Well, you know, I've jumped out of my skin a couple of times this season. One was that Woodlands game where there was a huge hit on the sideline.
Andre Jackson, yeah.
I was looking down, but you and Mason both jumped as flags come in to blow this first down play dead before it begins. So, yeah, I jumped real big there, and then I also jumped when you coughed just a moment ago.
I apologize.
Pretty big.
You know, I'm not a professional like you guys.
Well,
I'm human.
I'm definitely not a professional filling in here for Mason.
So I hope that Andre is letting him know he's got 2 out there, because just before that play stop started, I didn't see anybody else kind of going out. And they got 2 receivers at the far side of the field right now, and I'm sure the safety will walk out that way.
We have Discalais signal. 46 on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Oh my gosh, that's what I was talking about earlier, Jared. It's just so ticky-tacky, hard to like. Come on, what are we doing?
So you can't simulate the snap count, but you're allowed to talk. You're allowed to make your own calls. You're allowed to shift on the defensive side of the ball. And you're right. Definitely starting to see a lot more of these calls being made, and Coach Flynn is definitely giving our officials an
what do you want us to do at this point? That's how I would feel, and that's exactly what I would be telling the ref if I was Coach Flynn right now. How are we supposed to communicate that we want our guys to stem to the position? Because we're allowed to move on defense. You're not allowed to move on offense. So that's a frustrating call. If I'm Coach Flynn right now, I agree with him. I'd be pretty burned up myself.
So 1st and 5 from the 33-yard line. Robinson's going to throw over to his far sideline, and his receiver able to get 1 foot in bounds. Great catch over there. Looks like maybe Jackson Rorick, but he is slow to get up on the sideline. And that's the official blowing his whistle.
So he goes straight into sprint out right there, and so I'm a little bit Usually, I don't know what their technical rules for their defense are right here, but a lot of times when we got into sprint out like that, the cornerback on our teams that I coached on, we would kind of have them sit in the snug area and then have the safety kind of working over the top. And so their eyes, especially the corners, are going straight to the quarterback to pick that off. That was a long sprint out throw.
A very long throw to the far sideline, but his man able to get a foot down. This time he comes back to Cotton in the slot for another big pickup, 9 yards on that throw and catch.
Well, I tell you what, Ashton Robinson, quarterback, has he's shown some really nice footwork, arm strength, everything at the quarterback position, and they've kind of come out this half and said, you know what, we think that we can wing this ball around the field on you a little bit. So get into some trap coverage, maybe pick him off one time might slow that down.
So again, he drops back to pass, pressure in his face, and that is just he really just threw it up in the air. And you made this point earlier, Deer Park's not really able to locate the ball though, so it's only his guy, Caleb Benjamin, and he's able to go up.
Pass interference on number 14. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still second down.
Yeah, the problem though is while the ball's in the air for this moonshot to come down, he's got a receiver blocking, so that will be the pass interference on the offensive side that will back Clear Lake up to their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, we touched on that earlier. It's a little bit of they're certainly willing to throw the ball up because so far Deer Park this game has not shown that they're locating the ball in the air, and maybe it's a little bit more kind of man scheme right now where guys are turning and running with their man, and that's just who they're following. But maybe switch it up, get into some zone where you get your eyes in the backfield a little bit more.
So again, Ashton Robinson throws out to the far side, quick pass, and that's only going to pick up a couple before he's run out of bounds.
I will tell you this, as a general rule of thumb, the receiver screens to Andre Jackson's side are not the most successful. That's watching film. I'm sure you probably would pick that up pretty quickly because he is just a really hard guy to block. He's strong, tough, athletic, and I mean, he was out there making it an issue immediately, giving the outside linebacker time to get out and make a sure tackle.
All right, so third down. Robinson back to pass. He throws to his guy, but that was well covered this time.
Yep.
You saw Adam White.
Yeah.
He ran to his man and was able to get his head around. So Robinson had to throw it high.
It was good bracketed coverage right there. He's dropping, like I said, that kind of curl flat drop that the outside linebackers will do. And then he knows he's got the corner out there as well. So it's a bracketed coverage. And, I mean, if you make that completion, that is probably a D1 level throw.
So now they've got to punt it again, and it's nearly blocked again. Clear Lake with a close call on that punt, but able to get it past the hands of the rush. So Deer Park will take over on their 24-yard line. They lead 24-21 with just under 8 minutes to go here in the third.
Yeah, I mean, that Clear Lake's probably, I think they all gasped the way I gasped. And it was actually ended up being a pretty beneficial punt because they got the roll and everything. So now we're sub 25 for Deer Park.
So now a bunch set to the near side. A quick little pitch out to Schroeder, who lined up in the backfield. He slips down.
They're going to get a holding on 75 right here. And you know what? He did so much really good. And it wasn't even until after the ball had passed him up that he just didn't let go of the guy. Now, maybe I'm wrong.
No, I definitely think it's going to be a hold coming from the umpire there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was on our guy Landon Exner.
Holding. Offense number 75.
Yeah.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
It's like that's just one of those things. It's really hard. Those offensive linemen out in space, man. It's a whole different game, and you got to realize that you're almost like on a clock when you're out there in space like that and you've locked up to a guy, especially if you see the running back go by you, which I don't think that he did, but if you do see the running back go by you, man, you got to just let go and start running.
Kiesehorst is going to throw. He steps up, and now he's going to run with it to the near side. He gets all that he can before being pushed out, and he's going to pick up most of that penalty yardage. In fact, all of it.
It's always interesting. Some of the pass schemes and things that they do offensively, it's like you'll have a bunch of guys kind of flooding one side of the field and not a lot the other way, and it's like Kiesehorst knows where he's going to have a little bit of a backdoor outlet, if you will.
So now on second down, Kiesehorst running a little option. He's going to hold on to it himself. Nice little pickup down almost to the 35-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 34, but it's enough for a first down. So they run an option, and Kiesehorst calls his own number. This time they forego the huddle and just get onto the line of scrimmage. And now they try to draw the defense offside. Long throw right there from Kiesehorst back this way to the near sideline. Fortunately, Saldana able to get in front of it. Yeah, you definitely need your receiver to go attack that ball.
Yeah, come to the ball. Come to the ball. That's the slippery feet. Saldana is falling down a little bit, but he did a good job using his body to kind of shield the defender. I tell you what, I think Kiesehorst thought he had a free play possibly, kind of a little bit of movement up front. It seemed like it was a quick snap, but then he certainly just let it rip.
So now they hand off. Straight ahead goes number 31, Zachary Zuniga. Nice pickup, and that's enough for a first down.
Yeah, he had a big wide hole to run through. I mean, good job by the guys up front. The Hogs were definitely getting after it.
So Deer Park's actually done a pretty good job on the ground. 170 yards so far. Guess who has the most?
Oh, yeah, Kiesehorst. Yeah, but, I mean, that balance right there kind of allows them to do the stuff in the passing game. And we've seen them actually go a little bit of outside zone there. We've seen them go, with a little bit some of their quick stuff, and then also with the standard deep ball that he's going to let it rip.
Yeah, Zuniga carries across midfield for pickup of a couple, and the official tells Kiesehorst that he looks like he's got a little blood on his elbow and he's got to go get that cleaned up. And that took about 2 seconds, and he's right back out there. So now second and along 7. It's Wyatt Lay in the backfield, but Kiesehorst keeping it himself. And look at Kiesehorst just picking his way through the defense.
A little shiftier than we're used to seeing, right? Like, I mean, he was kind of going side to side some there. And tell you what, when you see the back go one way, but you see guards pulling the other way, you know that the quarterback's about to get the ball.
Yeah. Well, I thought he might, pop out here.
Yeah, back on our
near
side.
as Kiesehorst is still receiving some treatment there on the sideline. And
yeah, Paradise. Wildcat quarterback.
And sure enough, Paradise, he's going to keep it himself, and he cuts up. What a run by Paradise. Look at the block. Paradise springs it, but it's coming back.
You can't throw it that late, son. You can't do it. The field, oh my gosh. You can't do it that late.
Well,
I mean, I believe it might have happened. It might have occurred. But God bless, he took an hour to throw it. He was in the end zone.
It'd be nice to see a replay on this one.
So Wingo Dingo is out. And that means it looks like Paradise is kind of that wildcat quarterback that's going to run some option. And he was actually looking to throw the ball first and then tucked it and took off.
It was a great piece of running, and I thought it was going to be a good block, but got the corner in the back, the receiver did. So now Keys a Horse drops down, pass, and he's got a guy wide open and just overthrows Schroeder on the far sideline.
Oh, he knows it.
They lost track of him.
Yeah, so that was just a little bit of a, they faked the bubble, and Schroeder kind of did a little stutter and go up the sideline, and man, he was all alone.
Yeah, he would have walked into the end zone, but instead it falls incomplete. So now Deer Park will set up for 2nd down and 10 at Clear Lake's 30-yard line. 3 receivers to Keys a Horse right. He hands off straight ahead, goes Zach Zuniga. Nice pickup there of about 5. And that'll bring up 3rd and medium.
Come on, get Paradise in there. He is the all-around player that we need.
I love that he's your favorite player.
I know, he certainly is. And it was awesome because during pregame I saw him taking snaps. I was like, okay, I see it, and I agree with it.
Well, you know, Coach Flynn sent me the 2 deep, and Paradise is listed as the number 2 quarterback.
Oh, okay.
So Keys Horse, he's going to roll the pocket and throw into that first level there, right at the sticks, and that'll be enough for a 1st down. Trey Martinez with the grab.
Nice route and a nice throw. Knowing exactly where you have to get for the 1st down by Trey Martinez. Good job by him.
So now Deer Park again, right back to the line. New set of downs. They go hard count before looking at the sideline to get the call. So Keys a Horse, he's going to throw. He's under pressure, and he goes down. I think he lost the football. And Clear Lake comes up with it.
Wow.
Tracked down from behind.
Yeah, those are the ones that you end up, you just kicking yourself. I know he thought he had a lot more time. He had no clue that the guy was coming off the backside edge, tracking him down with a head full of steam. So, man, strip sack right there really shuts down a promising drive.
Here we see the replay. Like you said, just that defensive end on the far side. Hard to see his number there. I think it's Nicholas Cox.
Yeah, and it was right before Kieselhorst was about to tuck the ball. He was kind of running the one hand, kind of that hybrid, am I going to throw it, am I going to run style. But good job by defense right here, stringing that running play out and stuffing it.
Yeah, Benjamin takes the carry, but not able to pick up much, maybe 1 on the carry. And he's had a pretty good game himself. 10 carries, 83 yards on the ground. 8-yard average, pretty darn good. They hand to him again. Deer Park's defense swarms and brings him down. Another good stop.
Yeah, that was just a great effort by you know, the front 7 basically right there on the field. He did a good job of avoiding kind of the initial contact, but it was, like you said, the initial contact slowed him down enough for everybody else that was hustling to the ball to get there and overwhelm him.
So now 3rd down. Defense again trying to get off the field here. Robinson takes the snap. He throws over the middle, but his receiver fell down. It was Benjamin.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a crafty play by Wojtek, kind of creating a little bit of collision there at linebacker depth that did it, or if he just fell on his own. It'd be nice to see that replay, but luckily for the Deer Park Deer, he went down and nobody was home to catch the ball when they tried to slip him up the seam. Always scary when you see a running back running down the middle of the field like that, because usually he's a one-on-one situation with a linebacker.
Right.
And
so Clear Lake will have to punt again. Let's see how the rush goes. He's able to get it off. Schroeder comes up, makes the catch on a run. Look out, Schroeder with a lot of room in front of him. But another flag comes in. Schroeder's still going on the far sideline, and he breaks it. And takes it in for, no, they're going to mark him down at the 1. So there is a flag on the very far sideline, right back around where.
Holding, return team number 4. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Deer Park.
You know what's interesting about that is that was so far away from where Schroeder fielded the punt.
Yeah, very far away. You know, it was on Andre Jackson, and he's one of your best DBs you got on the field, period. And it's just really unfortunate. I know he's frustrated, but like, man, you got to know what you can and cannot do, and starts to become a little bit of a repetitive motion when we hear his name getting called for face mask or unsportsmanlike, or right there, a holding away from the ball. You know, it's like, I truly believe that a lot of it is effort stuff where he is going really hard. And
yeah, he plays hard. He leads the team in interceptions. He leads the district in interceptions with 7. And great effort there by Schroeder. Here, Kieselhorst, he fakes the handoff and then takes it himself around the far side and picks up 12 in a first down.
Well, I mean, that was it was a nice fake because first I was thinking, man, Gomez is really scooting with no one around him. Is that the
So Wyatt Lay checks back in at running back. Schroeder's in the slot near side. Kieselhorst, he's going to roll to his left, make the throw. He's got Schroeder down about the 30 before it takes a big shot by Terrell Stinson.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he had someone down around his legs when he took the hit.
Yeah.
Or he probably would have been able to just kind of roll off that. But, hey, that was a good play design, a little sprint out, kind of a smash concept where he stops on the sideline. He's got like a guy over the top of him. So comes back to the ball, turns, and he's got some space to move.
Kieselhorst back to pass again. He goes over the middle. It's Paradise who catches at the 10 and turns up for the touchdown.
I'm telling you, he is a touchdown machine. Get him the ball.
No question, Paradise has a way about him. He's a playmaker. He catches that one at the 10. 2 defenders around him, but just turns out to the sideline.
Well, it was, I mean, he really had to wing it to get it over there. And then Paradise came back to the ball, and he does this thing where he just kind of turns and 2 guys run into each other. And, you know, it's not luck when you consistently do it and you get in the end zone. I mean.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's moving very fast there, but he just has a
You bite your tongue.
I mean, the spin didn't look super fast.
No, it didn't. It didn't, but it's like you said, he's got a knack for finding the end zone, and Coach draws up some nice stuff for him to get open in that kind of middle of the field.
So Kieselhorst, like you said, had to throw it kind of short and behind him a little bit, but good job leading him away from the defenders.
Yeah, the safety was bearing down, and he just kind of turned on the brakes, and safety came flying up and whiffed.
So Deer Park with their biggest lead of the game, 31-21, 40 seconds to go in the third quarter.
There's no foul on the play.
Well, I don't know if they need some bigger flags with a little bit more weight for their pocket, but I don't know if it fell out on accident again.
Roebuck loving it here on homecoming night. Trying to get the fans going. Cheerleaders always doing a great job there on the sideline.
Roebuck's been lifting a little bit more biceps
than when you were in school.
Yeah.
Just look deer in the headlights.
I always wanted us to get a pet deer. You know, like you see it, one of them
With a
exotic
leash on
hunts.
it, yeah.
Yeah. A real deer like Bevo, and walk it out there, man.
So now Deer Park will kick it high and deep, and at about the 1 yard line, Cotton will take it, and he's got a little running room, but wrapped up and brought down just across the 25.
Who was that? That was a really nice job. That's number 37, Nicholas Maldonado. And what? Did I see it right? I'm going to go ahead and put my binoculars on.
I think it may have been 47, Andrew Clark. But there was a couple of guys there.
No, that's 37.
Wrapping them up.
That's Maldonado. I see the sleeves.
You might
That
be
was
right.
a good job by him on coverage because he initially only got what looked like one arm wrapped around the chest, but he held on and then he made sure he secured the tackle. Good job by him.
So Clear Lake down 10 starts this drive. Robinson throws to the far side. He's got his man. And he spins out of a tackle. That's number 5.
You don't see that much from Wojtek either. He kind of reversed ground on Wojtek once he started to wrap him up, and he got out and ended up getting a little bit extra yards out of it.
Yeah, Xavier Brantley with a nifty little move, and he picks up the first down.
You're getting a sense of a little bit more urgency from Clear Lake here. Feels like getting on the ball pretty quick.
So now Robinson running a little triple option, and he pitches it, but brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
That was perfectly played by, who was that, Contreras. Man, at that outside linebacker position, he does a good job stringing stuff out. And what he did was he actually played the quarterback and the pitch man all at the same time. Usually you got a guy for each. But, I mean, he played the quarterback, forced the pitch, and then he went and made the tackle on the pitch. Great job by him.
Yeah, really good play there, and that will end the third quarter. So we head to the fourth quarter here at Clyde Abshire Stadium on homecoming night. Deer Park 31, Clear Lake 21. We'll be right back for the start of the fourth in just a minute. Back here at Clyde Abshire Stadium to start the fourth quarter. Deer Park Education Foundation presenting a check for over $300,000 to Deer Park ISD and the superintendent, Mr. Stephen Harrell.
Got a one-on-one at the top of the screen with didn't see his number. Oh, they're rolling out this way.
Yeah, they roll this way, and wow, what a play by Andre Jackson.
So that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, where like he sat on it on this sprint out that time. He had his eyes into the backfield, and he just read the quarterback. He was trying to get over here and got his hand on the ball. That's why he's leading the district. It's just good instinctual play.
Well, he laid out right there. He was up in the flats playing his receiver, but falls back, knocking it away from Cotton, the intended receiver. Excellent play by Andre Jackson. Now 3rd down and 11. Robinson's going to throw, and it is caught but brought down immediately. Andre Jackson makes the stop to bring up 4th down, and we're going to see what Clear Lake is going to do here about midfield.
It's a really good job by the receiver right there. He had to flatten it off. He felt Andre Jackson driving it, and then Andre Jackson making the good hit, trying to wrap up his legs. A couple other guys jumping in on it, going for it.
So big 4th down here, and they fake the give. They throw to the near side, and it goes incomplete, but they are going to get a 1st down on a pass interference. There was contact.
The ball we placed at the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Xavier Brantley, the intended receiver.
Who was the intended receiver?
Xavier Brantley, number 5.
Okay, number 5, I see.
Yeah, he was kind of locked up there with Jackson.
Yeah, he was the one who made the catch right before that, too.
Right.
And it was basically the exact same type of route. It's just Jackson was a little too quick getting there for sure.
So quick pass to the far side. Look out, Cotton with a big catch and run. That's a pickup of about 20, 21 yards or so. And Clear Lake now on the move, trailing by 10. That'll be 1st down.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. It looked like maybe there might have been some sort of blitz going on because there was no outside linebacker out there in that space that they normally have. And then the safety was way up high. So, he caught the ball with all kinds of space. And then the number 1 receiver's blocking the corner. He just turns around and runs around that block.
This time they hand to Benjamin, but he is slung down. That's Colquitt, the senior captain. He had an excellent year last year. In fact, that entire defensive line last year was one of the strengths of this team.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he just really has he's just a wide base. And he's hard to move, and he looks just like what you'd think on him.
That's what you want a defensive tackle.
Zero nose tackle.
So now 2nd down, Robinson, he's going to give to Benjamin, and he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by Adam White stringing it out, fighting off the stiff arm. And Clear Lake's going to lose about 5 yards on that play.
Adam White said, "You give me that arm, I'm going to use it to suplex you," and that's what he did on the sideline there.
So now 3rd down.
So they seem to like to sprint out to this, and it's more of a just straight drop.
Now they're going to run a little screen, but read perfectly by the defensive end on that side and brought down for no gain on the play. Great job by number 92, Braden Guerra.
Yeah, it sure was. He saw it. He must have realized all of a sudden I'm not having to fight through somebody. Yep. They're letting me through. So he turned on the brakes and turned around and
here's the replay. They used to tell us, believe it or not, I played a little defensive end. Now 4th down. They used to tell us if it's easy, it's wrong. And that's exactly what happened right there. He stopped and came back and find it. So they line up to go for it on 4th down, but Clear Lake takes their first time out of the half. And so they will talk about it here on 4th and 15.
So when you played D-line, were you? I think you were a DN, probably, right?
Yeah.
You were on the end of the line. Were you more of a 5 technique, stand up 9, or what was your technique more?
Yeah, I was on the outside, so it was like
5 or 9.
9, and it was a lot of I'm the skinniest guy out there, and if one of those offensive linemen he gets a hold of me, it's over, right? So it's one of those where it's like you try to run around, you use your speed rush.
No, I remember going to your games, and it was before Max Crosby came around, and it was very. You were the pre-Max Crosby out there on Deer Park Field. Long arms everywhere, getting after
considerably slower, considerably less effective. So 4th down, Clear Lake going to go for it. They've got 2 guys split out to each side. Robinson, he's going to throw over the middle. It's caught, but brought down short. That route was not to the sticks, and Clear Lake will turn it over on downs. Good job on the tackle there.
Yeah, they just kept everything in front of them. They kind of went a deep cover 4 with the linebackers dropping right underneath it as well. And perfect. It's exactly what you want to happen. I thought for a second they were trying to do some sort of like kind of hook and ladder because he had a guy coming underneath, but no opportunity to do anything else because of the sure tackle right after he caught it.
I tell you what, 15 yards is asking a lot on 4th down for sure. So now Deer Park, they hands off. Good looking run there, number 35, Christian Gamez. The 10-yard gain. So they'll get a new set of downs.
He's got that real tall, powerful running style. I mean, if I had to kind of like, the look of it's kind of like almost like a Derrick Henry, just very upright and big and running hard, kind of north-south.
Trey Martinez comes in motion. They hand to him on the jet sweep. He kind of shimmies between a couple of defenders before being brought down. Pick up about 4.
Yeah, I think he might have just kind of outran his block just a hair that time because Gamez was trying to get up there onto a linebacker, but I think he was already ahead of that block, so there's no chance to cut back off of it, really. Still, positive yards.
Yeah, he's right now 55 yards on the ground on 3 carries is Martinez. Now 2nd and 6. They hand to Aston Jackson, and Braylon Aston Jackson's got some room to work with. And he runs hard, he runs fast.
Man, I mean, it's really decisive running too. There's not a lot of hesitancy. There's not a lot of like, oh, am I going to kind of piddle out here? It is, full speed from the get-go pretty much, and then getting upfield. Just really nice, decisive running.
Well, I think, once he got into the game a few weeks ago and got some good touches, this coaching staff sees it, and they're trying to figure out ways to get him the ball. Straight ahead, they hand off and still pushing the pile.
Oh, yeah.
Wyatt Lay.
The big boys come up to help.
Pickup of about 12 there. Great job keeping the feet moving. Check that. That's number 35, Christian Gamez again.
Gamez, yeah. It's a really nice balance when you can put him and then Action Jackson goes in, and he's got the quick shiftiness, and it's just really nice to be able to use both of those guys like that now. And it just, at this point in the season, kind of being able to have multiple running backs back there and someone other than, look at that. You see what I'm talking about?
Yep. There it is. Now, they've run this play before. That's that little nifty little misdirection. They kind of hand it to Aston Jackson behind the quarterback's back, but flag on the play. I think this one's going to come back.
Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty.
75, they already called your number once for holding. We got to stop that. You're not going to like it on Saturday after film. I know that. But yeah, it's basically counter where they, bring one back going across this way, then bring the other one this way, and he hands it behind his back. But the way that he runs the ball, and as soon as he sees a crease, it is just a burst of speed go through that gap.
So now Trey Martinez in the backfield. And Kieselhorst going to keep it himself, and he goes around the far side, and he's gone. That's a touchdown. Landon Kieselhorst.
I don't know what his 40 time is, but I'm telling you it is a lot faster than you think. Because, I mean, every defense is figuring out how fast that boy can actually run. I mean, we called that formation bone. We'd go split back with a sniffer in front, and you can do some really fun stuff to the backfield with the mesh point, and it's basically a quick mesh, and then it looks like a speed option, and he's like, I got this. To the house. And, I mean, just his line of attack, looking for space, getting out there and then getting vertical, man.
45-yard run on the quarterback keeper. Landon Kieselhorst now over 100 yards on the ground for the day, his second touchdown, and Deer Park extends their lead 38-21 with just over 6.5 minutes to go in this homecoming game. And Clear Lake looks a little defeated over there walking back to the sideline.
Not a lot of pep in the step, and I don't want to speak for him, but I think you know this. I'm a really good lip reader, and I saw right before that play, Kieselhorst was saying, man, Jackson is starting to creep up on my numbers, and then Gamez is starting to creep up. I'm not having this. And he said all that, and I caught it. And then he took it, and he took it to the house. I wasn't going to let him catch up to his rushing yards.
I have known you to be a excellent lip reader. Yeah, we talked about that last year because Kieselhorst, he pulled it down so often that we joked about, you know, the running backs being like, hey, will you, like, give us a chance to, like, do what we're supposed to do?
There we go.
Great kick.
See, I don't understand. That time he got a running start at it, and he's obviously got the leg to just boom it when he wants to. And so I'm a big fan of kicking it out of the end zone.
Yeah, that's Jose Garcia Mutate. If he can do it, I would absolutely do it every single time.
I think he's a toe puncher, too. I mean,
looks like it right there.
Thing was ripping through the air. But now, I mean, you take a lot of pressure off your defense, knowing that they can kind of fly around here. And, I mean, you obviously want to still play disciplined football, but it just takes a lot of pressure off of you now. And usually when you don't feel that, you really play even better.
Yeah, Robinson throws a little underneath route, but hit immediately, brought down, pick up about 5 yards on first down.
Yeah, they were clearing out with the top, the number one receiver on the far side's kind of clearing out, and then he cuts up underneath, and it's only Contreras who's the dropper on that side, and he does a great job of driving the football, making a sure tackle. Whoa, kind of a.
So they hand to their back.
I don't think that half the O-line didn't know that the ball got snapped, and then I think it might have even caught some of the defense off guard too, because it just looked really weird, didn't it?
It did.
I was halfway expecting the ref to get his spotlight time again, but
Caleb Benjamin picks up 5 and gives Clear Lake another first down, and you got to think they're going to be trying to pick up the pace here. Robinson, he's going deep over the middle, and he's got a guy that gets by the safety, but just a little long. That's Cotton. That's his favorite receiver.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some serious wheels. And the really hard part about safeties and corners when they're trying to locate the ball is they're on an angle, right? So they go to look up for the ball, and they realize, oh, I've got to adjust to it. But the receiver's been looking for it the whole time and is already adjusted. That's where he overtook him, the receiver did. Yeah. He already adjusted to the angle of the ball. And but – yeah, you definitely don't want to be letting guys go flying by you and get quick scores here.
So under 10 on the play clock now. Okay, new quarterback into the game here, but he hands off to Benjamin, and he is swallowed up and dropped. 5-yard loss on the play.
Oh. Pointing at the scoreboard now, a little bit of jawing going on. You don't need to worry about that. Yeah, you could tell that. So the handoff itself looked a little sketchy, like maybe the quarterback was going to try and pull it, but Robinson said, no, sir, I'm just going to snatch this away.
Well, Robinson back in at quarterback now. He was out for that play. Yeah. But big third down, and he's going to throw deep to the far sideline. Couple of guys over there, but too far and out of bounds. And so that's going to bring up another 4th and 15 or so. 4th and 16. And Clear Lake is.
So if you're going for it on 4th down, I mean, you think I don't know.
you think you'd run something, just
get a
get
few
positive yards,
yeah.
make it a little bit more manageable on 4th down.
Certainly.
So 3 receivers out to Robinson's right. He takes the snap, looks left, does a little double move, and now Robinson is running for his life from the pressure, and he's going to throw it near side. Look out. And that's picked off. Andre Jackson with his 8th interception of the year.
Well, it wasn't as easy as you might have thought. He threw it a mile into the air, but Andre Jackson had to really put on the jets to get there in time to make the interception. I thought maybe we were going to have a penalty in the backfield with kind of a delayed cut by the running back, Benjamin there, and I think that's maybe what that's kind of what the coach was a little upset about. He was looking over to the sideline. There's people all over the place. Just some wild stuff going on right now.
Well, there was no question when Robinson threw that ball that it was not going to have a chance. Even if it was completed, it was going to be short of the 1st down. But like you said, Andre Jackson, just great effort to go get it and extend his district lead in interceptions to 8.
Mm-hmm.
And right there, again, Christian Gamez running straight ahead for a nice pickup. Yeah, these numbers on these jerseys, when they get kind of folded up, very difficult to tell the difference between some of the numbers.
Oh, I know. I argued with Mason over number one time. I've given up trying to call the numbers all the time.
Delayed handoff to Gamez, and he picks up the 1st down. Under 4 minutes to go now. Deer Park with a comfortable lead at this point, but it was not always that way. Clear Lake, in fact, leading by 2 scores in the 1st half before Deer Park was able to battle back and tie it up at halftime.
Yeah, you know, it was funny because I kind of felt like going into this, Deer Park believed that they were the better team and might have had a little bit of a lackadaisical first quarter for sure, where, it's homecoming. Typically it's a win, and they allowed them to jump on them real quick, and that's what will happen when you're not, constantly focused.
Gamez straight ahead for another great pickup, and he's got to have a pretty darn good average right now, picking up 7-8 yards a piece. Six carries for 43 yards for Christian Gamez. Of course, there's several people that got pretty good averages. Aston Jackson's got 6 carries for 55 yards.
Yeah, where is Aston Jackson?
Well, he's number 2 on the team, him and Trey Martinez.
Yeah, but why isn't he on the field right now?
Again to Gamez, straight up the middle, another great run.
Yeah, he ducked under an arm tackle. Looked real sneaky, Gamez. Not used to you running, dropping your shoulders like that. And then maybe they're lulling everyone to sleep for Paradise to sneak in there again.
I would be surprised if Deer Park pulls up and throws it here, but
no,
you never know.
No. I mean, the Wildcat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But do you think?
Oh, they're going big time heavy. They got a D lineman at sniffer.
There they go. The handoff again to Gamez, and he's pulled down. Pickup of about 5.
I never. Come on, you got a D lineman in there at a fullback position, and then he's not even leading up on a like a linebacker. He was going up one of them skinny guys.
So you got to think Deer Park's going to use just about all the time here on the play clock as we approach 1 minute to go here in the game. Well, now they're under 5, so they're about to take a delay of game, and they will, which is frustrating considering they were going to take a knee.
Delay of game, offense number 12. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be frustrating if you're a stats guy. And
I mean, the clock stopped right there. Like, the game would be
over.
Nearly completely over at this point.
Well, I mean,
we'll do it again.
Yeah. Echo repeat.
So Kieselhorst takes a knee, and he'll have to take one more. But Deer Park will win this homecoming game 38-21 over Clear Lake. Coming back here in the second half that started tied. But Deer Park able to get their first lead of the game there in the third quarter on a Xavier Hurtado field goal before kind of busting it open there. And they will move to 6-1 on the year.
I know Kieselhorst is aware of his yardage numbers because when he took the shotgun snap for the kneel down, you see him take a real big step forward. Can't take too big of a loss.
Well, he's at 103 yards. So, yeah, when you're in the shotgun there, you take one knee and you're under 100. And, you know, he couldn't possibly have that. So, Deer Park takes care of business on homecoming night. They pull it out in the second half. Final score 38-21 over Clear Lake. They will go on the road next week to Brazoswood. You ready to go to Brazoswood?
I'm ready.
You can hear that game on the Deer Network, deernetwork.com. For all of us here at the Deer Network, all of the students working upstairs to make this production happen, Shane Creel, Gavin Zabala, Todd Trusty, Jared Creel signing off. Deer Park wins 38-21 on homecoming night. Good night, everybody.